I've had many expectations for what I thought this Badgers team was gonna be. You know, we were supposed to be finishing 10th in the Big Ten. Last night, I think, will be one of the most memorable days in probably program's history. I have no words. None. We have, I think, a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. On Wisconsin.
Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, about now, about now, about now.
What is popping, y'all? It is your man Cloudboy Bells, and I am so happy because I have not made a video in like 2 weeks. Because one, I've been like waiting for Rodgers to like make his decision already, because to be honest, I don't really want to talk Packers until we get a full scale on Rodgers' decision, because everything that really happens for the Packers this season obviously relies on Rodgers' decision. Also, Rob Manfred is an idiot, and from what we know, they had to cancel some baseball games and opening day, which that absolutely stinks. Can't believe this is happening. I mean, I missed out on baseball due to COVID. I can't miss out on another season due to this. So that sucks. I can't really talk Brewers right now. So those two things are happening. Obviously, I don't really talk Bucks until the playoffs. So honestly, I'm just sitting here like, what am I going to talk about? I'm trying to figure it out. And the Wisconsin Badgers basketball team is like the big story of what's been going on right now. This is a team that was supposed to finish 10th on the final, because first off, they did struggle because the Big Ten last year was like the best conference, so they still barely got into the tournament. They got into the round of 32 only to lose to Baylor, who ended up winning the tournament that year. I picked Illinois to win it. I still don't know why I did that, after I said Baylor was going to win the whole tournament all year. But I guess that's that. But anyways, Wisconsin lost all their seniors. Well, not all their seniors. Micah Potter, Nate Reavers, Demetra Trice, and Aleem Ford all obviously left, and Trevor Anderson did too. Brad Davidson decided to return for a 5th year. When I looked at this team this year, I was like, okay, our Brad Davidson is not the most consistent. He can sometimes go off and sometimes not. So it's like, you're not going to get the greatest performances out of him. Sometimes you might get the greatest performances out of him. So it's like, is he going to be a leading scorer? Johnny Davis, the guard bench guy, came off the bench last year. Obviously, he was ranked Mr. Basketball. I didn't know how he was going to do. Turns out, he's probably going to be Player of the Year. I mean, that dude is something else, averaging 20 points a game right now, and he's just killing it right now. I mean, there's nothing you can say bad about Johnny Davis. I mean, he's having an amazing season, that's for sure. So, also, some other guys that really were huge contributors. Tyler Wall. As I said, I made a video talking about things. I said, Tyler Wall is the best defender on the team. If he is able to actually produce some offense, I see the Badgers actually competing. And turns out, he really started to play some offense. And I'm really happy. I'm not saying he's consistently hitting threes and jumpers. No, he's an underneath guy. And he's an in the paint guy. Like, that's his game. So, I can't wait to see how he progresses, because he's still got one more year of eligibility left. So that's great to see Wall really producing. Stephen Crowell is actually doing pretty good too at center. And Chucky Hepburn is actually really getting better and better and more confident as we speak. So we have a good starting 5. And obviously our only weakness is the bench. We thought that Chris Vogt was going to be the guy that sparked off the bench. Unfortunately, he hasn't been that guy, but maybe in the tournament something could change, because everything changes in the tournament. We all know that. But obviously, that's the thing. Some other guys did some things off the bench, like Ben Carlson, we thought was going to actually be a really good player for us. Turns out he hasn't been that guy, but maybe he could change in this next 2 years. Also, Jacoby Neath, another transfer, looking pretty good. Jordan Davis' brother, Johnny Davis, looking good. And Lauren Bowman, he has an injury. We haven't seen much of him, but who knows, we might see him again. I don't know. But we have some guys that can really do some things off the bench. We just haven't seen it, but, our starting five, I think, is a good, consistent starting five that can really get to where we're at. So, looking at the start of the season, everyone thought Michigan was going to be the team to beat. And Michigan was just absolutely terrible this year. I don't know what, I'm not going to say terrible. They just had everything that has gone wrong for Michigan has gone wrong. I said the team to beat was Purdue this year, and I was correct. The team to beat was Purdue. Until Wisconsin showed up and swept Purdue this season. Don't know how that happened, but we just don't know. Wisconsin, with this win over Purdue last night, they have officially clinched a share of the regular season title. And with that, if you guys do not know what that means, Badgers still got one more game left of the season. Illinois has 2 games, and right now with the tiebreaker, because we did lose to Illinois this year. Illinois wins out and we lose the last game, then Illinois and us have the tiebreaker. Illinois will automatically get the 1 seed, and we get the 2 seed. However, we get the share, because basically we both have the same record. But really, the winner comes down to who wins the Big Ten tournament. Obviously, next week I will be making my predictions on who I think will win the Big Ten tournament, because I am really perplexed on this. Wisconsin, I sit there and I look at them. I'm like, how are they winning games? I just, because sometimes Johnny Davis is like double and he forces shots, and sometimes he's not going to be the greatest. But the thing is, now we're starting to see all these other pieces coming together. Tyler Wall contributing, now Chucky Hepburn starting to contribute more. Steven Krause had a couple good games. And Brad Davidson is obviously going to continue to be Brad Davidson. Sometimes a guy off the bench could do something as well. So, the thing is, with this team, they just find ways to win. I mean, I had no expectations. I was like, when they ranked us 10th, I was like, that's a big slap in the face, because first off, I'm like, knowing Greg Gard, all those toxic seniors that dissed him are all gone. So these are all guys that wanted to be here in Wisconsin. So the thing is, this is really I think it's really going to be huge. And I'm happy for Gard. I mean, I'm pretty sure with this victory, he wins Coach of the Year. There's not even any words to say about that at all. In case you were wondering, last night's game was impressive, especially the ending. Yeah, I'd love for y'all to take a quick look at what happened if you guys did not catch this ending. It was a little bit crazy, I can tell you that. Here's the ending of last night's game for y'all.
Big Ten title on the line. Ivy steps into a drive. Oh, he swashbuckles for 2! And possibly a Big Ten title. Davis, step back, leaning in. Oh, he banked it in! Ivy in a hurry, pulling up for 3. He tied the game! Oh, lethal shot from Ivy. He was going to send us to overtime.
I mean, shot making at the highest level. It's Jaden Ivey coming in transition.
5 seconds to go. Chucky Hepburn, Big Ten on the line. Yes!
And you've got an All-American guarding you. Look at the space he creates. When he gets away from Ivy, and glass is good, apparently, in Madison.
Travion Williams, ready to launch. He does. Intercepted by Wall. Wisconsin wins the Big Ten.
Yeah, that was absolutely crazy. Yeah, I have no words. I mean, first off, you saw Johnny Davis. He forced a bank shot, and then missed 3 throw, they go down. Jaden Ivey, he's supposed to be a top 10 pick in the NBA this year. He hits 3, ties the game. Chucky Hepburn goes down, and then banks in a 3, and they win the game. I mean, I've never seen anything crazy. The students were rushing court. It was an insane pandemonium. I think this is going to be a day that lives in Wisconsin basketball history forever. Like it or not, this is huge because, and it's only huge because everybody had so many low expectations, but things completely shifted, and the Badgers really looked like they were a top contender. I mean, they obviously are going to get a top seed in the tournament. I mean, unless something happens where they choke out or something. I'd hope that doesn't happen, but that's the thing. Badgers still got one more game left to play on senior night, which is a game against Nebraska at home. And then they got the Big Ten tournament, so, they still got some things to prove before March Madness starts, but, I think they're going to do whatever they can to push to the limit and get where they need to go. But I'm excited. I mean, this, from the start, I'm just sitting there like, this team is super underwhelmed. This team is going to be a very underrated team. They're doing good. They're winning games. I'm like, wow, this is actually going well for them. I'm like really impressed. I'm like watching them all through it. And then they're just like, okay, rank us already. Now we're winning these games against top teams, and the next thing you know, we lose again, and then start playing these close games against bad teams, and I'm like, I think we're overrated. It's like, I keep shifting. I don't know if they're an underrated team, if they're an overrated team, or if they're a contender. I still haven't figured that out yet, which is why, I'm probably not going to pick them to win the title. I mean, I don't think they have what it takes to win the title, because first off, right now, I mean, I'm either going to go with, like, Kentucky or Arizona right now. I think those are my 2 top choices to win the title. I don't know, but I'd love to play Arizona again just to throw it in their faces and beat them, just like the last 2 times we played them in the tournament. Those were good years. But, I mean, you got to understand, it's been really, 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 really awesome. Awesome. I just love it, But I'm happy to see where we're at. I'm not going to act cocky and say, oh, we're such a good team. But, we did some crazy things this year, and I think so far it's been an unforgettable year. And obviously I'll be talking about more tournament stuff. I can't wait to see what happens. It's just I'm throwing myself back to the olden times with the Badgers, with Frank Kaminsky and Sam Decker and Nigel Hayes, It's like, it's crazy to see what's happened later on, So, yeah, that's that. I'm excited to see what happens. One more game left, then next week's conference tournaments, and in less than 2 weeks, we have Selection Sunday. So, it's crazy enough to think about that this is already happening, but here we are once again. So anyways, more updates to come on any sports news. Obviously, I'll be making more stuff and talking about more things down the road. My Big Ten tournament predictions video will be coming out at some point next week before the tournament starts on Wednesday, which is a week from today. And anyways, if you like what you saw, subscribe below, comment with your thoughts, and as always, I'm Wisconsin. Let's hope for the best. We'll see you next time.